Whoopi Goldberg mocked John Kennedy's faith on live TV. His response left her speechless. The stage of The View buzzed with electric anticipation, its sleek design and vibrant lighting casting a glow over the packed audience. The set, with its modern glass table and plush chairs, radiated a polished energy, a fitting backdrop for a show known for sparking bold conversations. At the heart of it all sat Whoopi Goldberg, a titan of American media, her presence commanding yet approachable, her quick wit and warm smile a beacon for millions. Today's episode, billed as Spirituality and the Meaning of Life, promised a deep dive into faith, purpose, and the diverse ways people navigate their inner worlds. The audience, a mix of loyal fans and curious newcomers, clapped enthusiastically as the cameras rolled broadcasting live to homes across the nation. Whoopi, dressed in a flowing, colorful ensemble that mirrored her eclectic spirit, exuded confidence. She was in her element, ready to guide the discussion with her trademark blend of humor and insight. But beneath her poised exterior lay a calculated plan shared only with her co-hosts and producers to challenge the Christian faith of her special guest, Senator John Neely Kennedy from Louisiana. Known for his blunt honesty and deep-rooted values, Kennedy was a figure who didn't shy away from speaking about his beliefs, even when it stirred controversy. Whoopi, with her sharp intellect and media savvy, saw an opportunity to put him on the spot, to make him squirm under the weight of her questions before a global audience. She believed she could expose the rigidity of his faith, framing it as out of step with a world that celebrated diversity and open-mindedness. What she didn't anticipate was that this moment, this carefully orchestrated clash, would unfold in ways that would leave her rattled and the audience transfixed. As Senator Kennedy stepped onto the stage, a hush fell over the crowd. His navy suit was neatly tailored, but understated, a reflection of a man who valued substance over flash. In his jacket pocket rested a small worn Bible, not for show, but as a quiet anchor, a reminder of why he'd agreed to this appearance. His steps were steady, his expression calm, with a faint smile that hinted at both warmth and resolve. The audience clapped politely, but there was a palpable tension in the air, a mix of curiosity and expectation. They knew Kennedy wasn't a typical politician. He was a man who wore his faith openly, unafraid of the criticism it often drew. Whoopi greeted him with her signature charm, her voice smooth and inviting. "Senator Kennedy, welcome to The View. It's such a pleasure to have you with us today," she said, her smile wide, but her eyes sharp, betraying a glint of strategy. "We're diving into a big topic, spirituality, purpose, what guides us through life." "I know this is going to be a great conversation," Kennedy nodded, settling into his chair with an easy grace. "Thank you, Whoopi. I'm glad to be here," he replied, his voice low and warm, laced with the unmistakable drawl of Louisiana's bayou country. His hands rested lightly on his knees, his posture relaxed but alert, like a man who knew he was walking into a storm, but trusted he'd come out the other side. In his heart, he sensed this wasn't just another talk show appearance. He'd heard about Whoopi's eclectic approach to spirituality, her advocacy for mindfulness, self-discovery, and universal paths to peace. He respected her influence, but was prepared to stand firm if his beliefs were challenged. Before arriving, he'd taken a moment alone to pray, asking for wisdom and courage to speak truthfully, no matter the cost. This wasn't about winning a debate. It was about honoring something bigger than himself. Whoopi kicked off the discussion with light, disarming questions, setting a comfortable tone for the audience. "Senator, tell us about your work in Louisiana," she began, leaning forward slightly. "How do you connect with folks back home, especially in such a divided world?" Kennedy's eyes lit up, and he leaned into the question with sincerity. Well, Whoopi, Louisiana's full of good people, farmers, teachers, fishermen, who just want to live their lives and take care of their families. I spend a lot of time listening to them, hearing their stories. That's what keeps me grounded." His voice carried a touch of Southern humor, and he tossed in a quick anecdote about a lively town hall meeting in Baton Rouge that drew chuckles from the crowd. The audience relaxed, charmed by his down-to-earth demeanor. Whoopi nodded her smile encouraging, but her mind was already shifting gears. She wasn't here for pleasantries. She wanted to dig deeper to steer the conversation toward the heart of her plan. The stage lights seemed to sharpen as she pivoted her tone, still warm, but now edged with purpose. "That's wonderful, Senator, and I love hearing about your connection to your community," she said, her eyes narrowing just enough to signal a change. "But let's get into something you talk about a lot, your Christian faith. You've said it's the foundation of everything you do. Now, in a world as diverse as ours, where people find meaning in so many ways, Buddhism, meditation, even no religion at all, don't you think it's a little limiting to say there's only one path to truth?" The question landed like a well-aimed arrow, striking at the core of Kennedy's publicly professed beliefs. The audience fell silent, their eyes darting between Whoopi and Kennedy, waiting for his response. Some leaned forward, intrigued by the challenge. Others shifted uncomfortably, sensing the weight of the moment. In a culture that prized inclusivity, the idea of one exclusive path to truth felt almost provocative, and Whoopi knew it. She was banking on Kennedy, either doubling down, which could paint him as narrow-minded, or softening his stance, which might undermine his credibility. It was a trap expertly set, and she leaned back slightly, confident she'd cornered him. But Kennedy didn't flinch. He met Whoopi's gaze, then turned to the audience, his eyes warm and steady, the kind of look that made you feel he was speaking directly to you. "Whoopi, let me tell you about a woman named Clara from Shreveport." He began, his voice slow and deliberate, carrying the